Professional wrestling is an art form, a dance that's sometimes forgotten how exactly it's portrayed here.
Pro wrestling, it's interesting. It's, I guess, a world of arts and sports and pretty much essentially that. Artistic sports, kind of. It's sports come to life. It's fighting personified. It's drama brought into that, storytelling as well.
Professional wrestling is the theater of combat sports. In my opinion, it is a showcase, a spectacle, two athletes going in the ring and performing combat.
It's very physical storytelling. That's a great way of saying it. Physical storytelling.
Deathmatch wrestling is the ultimate art form of pro wrestling. This ring is their canvas, and some of the things you'll see them do tonight, some people turn their noses up to it. It's not for the squeamish, it's not for the faint of the heart, but it is unlike anything else you'll ever see.
Deathmatch wrestling, so physical storytelling times 10. I mean, pro wrestling is very physical. Don't get me wrong, in any platform it's very physical. But deathmatch wrestling, now you're introducing weapons, hardcore as they say, no counts anywhere, barbed wire, pointy objects, things that make you typically bleed. And things that you just wouldn't. Wrestling's a lot of grappling and a lot of just. It could be anything. It could be mat wrestling. It could be high flying. Deathmatch wrestling is all of that and weapons essentially. Things to hurt you, things to make you bleed, things to be brutal, to be violent, and to hurt you basically. Anything that they could possibly do to hurt you with no rules, which gives you 10 times more freedom.
Tonight we are doing the Goddess of Gore tournament. It is the first of its kind here on the West Coast. In pro wrestling and deathmatch wrestling, you can see many guys step in this ring and do things out of the ordinary, doing things that are violent, very risky, and the girls can do the same things. The ladies are just as hardcore, just as tough, just as violent, and you're going to see that here tonight.
Goddess of Gore tournament. As far as I'm aware, it's one of the first hardcore deathmatch wrestling female tournaments in California. Because, I mean, female wrestling is definitely booming, but you don't see a lot of women doing deathmatch wrestling. There's been a lot of male tournaments, but not many female tournaments. So Goddess of Gore was one of the, as far as I know, one of the first California tournaments that brought women's deathmatch wrestling out there.
There's a service.
Tonight's event is very historical. It's history-making as being the first SoCal all-women's deathmatch tournament. In today's day and age, when women are seen as equals as men, and as a sport that is commonly known as a man's sport, women are taking it for themselves.
The fans of deathmatch wrestling are some of the most unique. They are rabid, they're loyal, most loyal. Most fans, they'll come to a show, they don't like what's there. These guys will be at every show. There's some people at these shows that I've made friends with outside of this building. So they are just very unique.
No, yeah, this is like my first live death matches. It's crazy. I've never seen this much blood before. Never seen light tubes just broken everywhere. Mouse traps, thumbtacks, doors. It's been crazy.
And deathmatch wrestling, the kind of weapons you'll see used: barbed wire, light tubes, in some cases gusset plates, carpet strips, thumbtacks, toothpicks. Pretty much, if you can dream it, they've done it or can make it happen. We have fans that actually come. There's one specifically, he goes by Twisted Tanky. He has what he calls the tool shed. He goes and does a bunch of we do fans bring the weapons matches. He's like the ultimate fans bring the weapons match guy. He brings and creates some of the most sick shit that you'd ever think of. It looks like Hellraiser coming into the building. Everyone that you're going to see compete tonight has trained for many years to just be able to step inside that ring. It's not just anybody's game. You can't just come in from the audience and walk up into this ring and do it. You spend months, years putting in the work, learning this craft, learning how to do this. And for deathmatch specifically, there's not really a way to train yourself to get used to crashing into glass and falling in barbed wire and all that. It just kind of happens.
I would say there's a realness to feminine violence. And I don't mean to make that sound demeaning at all, but when a guy gets into a fight, like a real fight, there's a lot of posturing, there's a lot of, look at me, look at me, look at me. When I've seen women fight, it's real. It's terrifying. That it isn't just a guy's thing. That women can do this as well and do it quite well. Sage Sin. This is her 5th tournament. There's a lot of guys who don't even do that many. So that says something.
My in-ring name, my persona, which is pretty much me often, more so you'll find me doing that more than often, is the Pumpkin Queen, Sage Sin. And that to me is me times 100 brought to life. I'm a lover of Halloween, anything pumpkin-y, and all things horror and things like that. So the Pumpkin Queen just kind of came to me with a mixture of an old trainer that did some face paint and a lot of internet influences, as everyone's influenced by the internet these days. And yeah, I just decided to paint my face with it. For me, the nitty-gritty, like when I can just take all this back and throw on face paint and just get bloody, get hardcore, and get, you know, in a wrestling ring and just start getting sweaty, that's like when I'm like in my happy place. Yeah, that's just like, as I said, I'm a lover of Halloween, so it's just kind of my way to bring, as the Pumpkin Queen, obviously Nightmare Before Christmas kind of has a little play on that a little bit, but it's just very fun to be in the ring and have that queen play, and it's pretty much essentially like the rules of Halloween, like check your candy, bring some candy, wear a mask, like, you know what I mean, dress in costume, and just fun things to kind of bring to life and be able to bring Halloween to life in wrestling and to have fun, because if you're not having fun in wrestling, there's really no point to do what you're doing.
Kick your ass! Destroyer! Please don't die! Please don't die! Please don't die! Oh no! Oh shit! Careful, ladies! Oh, we gotta go that way! Oh shit! Holy shit! Holy shit! Holy shit! Holy shit! Holy shit! 1, 2, 3!
The actual tournament itself, it's a huge accomplishment because, as I mentioned, all the 7 women that got to compete put nothing but hard work into it. They came from far and wide to be part of the tournament. So to be in the ring with some of those ladies, I've gotten to face a few of them before, so people that know me before, it's a lot of fun to get to be with them and kind of just have that accomplishment and to have them all in the ring with me at the end. It was just a really amazing experience to have them raise my hand, and just it's just a wonderful like sisterhood and womanhood kind of. So it was very sweet and accomplishing kind of to have that like in your career, to be able to accomplish that and to have something so amazing to kind of reflect on that is very wonderful.